People say grief comes in stages, but mine came in jump scares. First, my brother died. Tragic, sudden. A week later, my 6-year-old nephew supposedly followed him just like a buy one get one. Free tragedy sale. You'd think his mother, my sister-in-law, would collapse into tears, drown herself in tissues, or at least do the Oscar performance of grief. Instead, she wore eyeliner, sharper than her words, and told me, "Stop clinging to a dead child. Move on." I wanted to throw holy water at her just to see if she hissed. But I didn't. Instead, I went to the cemetery every single day like clockwork, because if I didn't, who would sit with that little boy's grave? Who would whisper stupid uncle jokes into the cold earth? Certainly not the woman who gave birth to him and was now back to brunches, spa, appointments, and flirting with men who didn't know she was the human version of spoiled milk. And then it happened. I was kneeling by his grave, brushing away leaves like some underpaid gardener of grief when I heard it. "Uncle," I froze. My first thought, I finally cracked. Great. Now I'm the neighborhood ghost. Whisperer. My second thought, I should have slept more and maybe laid off the whiskey. But then I turned slowly, trembling, and there he was, my nephew, same big eyes, same goofy smile that showed he still hadn't mastered brushing his teeth properly, standing there like death had been nothing more than a poorly written rumor. "Why, you're supposed to be," I stammered, "dead." He finished with all the casual sass of a 6-year-old who just caught me mispronouncing Pokemon. My heart slammed against my ribs. I wanted to hug him, but I was too scared I'd touch air and collapse into crazy. Except when I did reach out, my hand hit warm skin. He was real, alive, breathing, and somehow standing in front of his own grave. "Where have you been?" I whispered. "They took me," he said. "They the most terrifying pronoun in the English language." I pressed him gently, like coaxing a secret out of a shaken soda can. Between sniffles and kid level storytelling, he explained. His mother, my delightful sister-in-law, had staged it, paid off the doctor, declared him dead, buried a coffin that was more empty than her soul. Meanwhile, she had handed him off to friends. Translation, some underground adoption scheme that made her money while she partied. My chest burned. My grief flipped instantly into rage, boiling delicious rage, because suddenly her crocodile tears made sense. They never existed. She wasn't grieving. She was cashing in. And my brother, God rest him, he probably never imagined his wife would treat their son like eBay merchandise. "Why? Now, why are you here?" I asked. "I ran away," he said simply. And that was it. A 6-year-old, smarter than all of us, walked out of whatever hellhole she dumped him in and found his way back to me. I knew what I had to do. When you live long enough in a family full of snakes, you learn the art of patience. So I smiled, hugged him, told him he was safe. Then I started planning. Step 1, evidence. I didn't scream or storm into her house like a soap opera ant. I collected hospital records, forged death certificate copies, bank transfers that subtly made her account look like a jackpot machine. Oh, and the cherry on top, a lovely little voice recording of my nephew explaining what happened. Kids, bless them, don't know about defamation loss. Step 2, the reveal. Why waste such premium betrayal on A? Private scolding when you can throw the performance of a lifetime? So I waited for her charity gala, a night she dedicated to helping grieving mothers heal. The irony nearly gave me whiplash. I showed up looking calm, dressed sharp. Everyone clapped as she took the stage. Tears on demand, ready to roll. Losing A, child changes you forever, she began, hand over her chest like she had a heart. In there, perfect cue. I raised my glass. Funny you say that, I called out. Heads turned. Cameras, too. I walked forward slow and steady with my nephew, holding my hand. Gas exploded like popcorn. The woman's face cracked. You could hear the porcelain shatter. That's impossible, she stammered. No, I said, smiling coldly. What's impossible is pretending to mourn a child you sold. I let the recording play, her voice arranging the handoff, her laughter about freedom, the money, transfers on screen, courtesy of A. Projector I'd oh so generously borrowed from the event organizers. It was cinematic, Oscar-worthy. Security moved. Guests whispered. Someone screamed. She tried to bolt, but my nephew gripped my hand tighter, like he'd waited for this moment. Police arrived soon after. Turns. Out fraud and child trafficking don't look great on a resume. And me? I stood there steady, watching her dragged away. In handcuffs, eyeliner smudging like melted tar. My nephew leaned into me and asked, Uncle, is she going to jail? Yes, kiddo, I said, and if karma is on schedule, it's a one-way trip. Now, every morning, instead of visiting a grave, I make breakfast for two. He dunks 2 mini marshmallows in his cereal, and I let him because you don't argue with miracles. As for my sister-in-law, well, she wanted freedom. She got it in a 6x8 concrete cell. Moral: evil dresses itself in fancy, clothes, fake tears, and charity gall. But no matter how polished the act, truth has a way of crashing the party. And sometimes it walks in holding your hand, calling you